I don't know where the hell I am. My day started as normal. I woke up at around 7:30 a.m., got out of my house and headed to work around 8, parked my car in the nearby car park and started work in the same boring, monotonous complex of office cubicles that were copy-paste of each other. Even the people were the same. Same face, same hair, same facial expression that looked as if their very soul was leaving their body by the second, being sucked away from this boring life. Everything was normal, in place. Nothing was out of the ordinary. At some point, when I had my face buried into my computer, my boss told me to drop off a pile of files to a coworker on the lower floor. I was bored shitless of typing the same stupid things over and over again to insanity, so I said that I would. I took the files from him and made my way to the nearest elevator, pressed the button for floor 23 and watched the doors close. Everyone seemed to watch me as the doors closed. I thought nothing of it. I waited a while, feeling the force of the elevator jolt and move downwards. I waited, and waited, and waited. This is where I got confused. I was only going down 2 floors, and from how long I was in the elevator, it felt like I was going down 100 floors. In a compound of panic and confusion, I watched the screen above the door display the number I was on. It read 25. I rubbed my eyes, squinted, did a double take, and it still read 25. That was the floor I entered from. Why the hell was I still on this floor? Not to mention, I could literally feel the elevator falling. I decided that maybe it was just stuck, and I was so used to it working that the feeling of it moving was all in my head. Just when I was in the motion of pressing the emergency stop button, the doors opened. I listened to the jarring, ear-piercing squeal of the doors as they opened, revealing a hallway. A long, long hallway. The walls were painted gray, with little to no detail on them, with few paintings and scattered lockers, boxes, and chairs lying about. I was hesitant, but after trying to press the other buttons and the elevator refusing to open, I stepped through the doorway. There was an echo, even from my footsteps. The echo appeared to travel from one side of this monstrously long hallway to the other. I called out for somebody. Hello? I heard the echo travel and repeat. I came from floor 25. The elevator stopped working, and I'm not sure which floor this is. Is there anybody who could help me, please? I waited for an answer. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No voices, no footsteps other than my own, and I could still hear the echo of my voice in the distance. On the other side of the hallway, I could just make out a tiny, dirty yellow-colored door, with a chair next to it on an angle. If I can make it there, maybe there's help on the other side, I thought. I figured that maybe there was some construction down here for storage, and that there could be workers on the other side of that door. Although this hallway was insanely long, I could still walk there. I started walking, listening to the echo of my footsteps and my steady breathing. I looked at some of the paintings. They were in a sort of loop, showing me the same 4 paintings. The first one was of a young boy and his family. The boy has his back on them, and they're all in distress. The second one was of the same boy climbing a mountain. I couldn't see the top of it, but it's steep and difficult to climb. The third was the boy at the top of the mountain, standing. Usually you would say standing proudly, but he was not. He was disappointed. I can see the hope from his eyes, fading away as I examine the picture. The last one was of the boy meandering a long, long road with no end in sight and nobody around him. He was alone, on his own, having turned his back on everyone he knew to climb the mountain to the top, and found there was nothing there to find. I strangely resonated with him. He chased a dream and it went poorly, and there was nothing for him to come back to but the ruins of a long road. I carried on walking and walking and walking and walking. The door didn't seem to be any closer to me. It was still tiny, minuscule like it was earlier. How long is this hallway? I kept asking myself, feeling as though it was growing with every step I took. I looked back, seeing the elevator far out in the distance, so far I could barely see it. No, I couldn't see it at all. I had definitely traveled far enough that I should have made it to the other side by now, but I felt as though it was growing. I started running. I sprinted for as long as I could, hearing the deafening echoing of my footsteps and my heavy breathing. I ran and ran and ran. I didn't want to stop, not until I made it to that damn door. I didn't care what was on the other side of it. People, the office, oblivion, another hallway. I didn't care, but I had to know. I was becoming obsessed with knowing, watching as the yellow shape shook in my view as I ran. I felt myself slowing down, my legs in pain and my chest filling up with intense stinging. I gasped and struggled for air. That's when I realized how little I could breathe in this place. I had been taking deep breaths without realizing and gasping every so often. After taking a few seconds to try and recover, I looked up to the door, hoping I was closer. I wasn't. In a fit of anger, sadness, and distress, I despair-kicked the wall, punched the floor, punched myself, screamed at the top of my lungs, and fell to the ground, sobbing into my hands, hearing tears drop through my fingers onto the floor. There was nothing I could do to get out of here. I was stuck, trapped forever. Now I sit here, on my own, in a pool of my own tears and failure, with nobody around me. The only voices I hear are that of mine and the echoes, the damned continuous echoes that seem to drone on forever. I'm so hungry. It's been days, weeks, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to die here. I want to go back and see my mom and hug my dad. I want to tell my sister I'm sorry and hang out with my friends like we did before this. I wish I could go back. I feel as though the paintings are looking at me. The boy, the family, all staring at me. Even when I move, I can feel their endless gaze follow me. Stop looking at me, please. Look at something else. They just stare at me, endlessly. What do they want from me? I've torn down the paintings and ripped them up, only to see the others in the distance still intact. I don't know how, but I feel them all staring at me too. Even the ones behind me. I hear them somehow. I hear their shouts of judgment and disappointment in me. I just want to leave this place. The door in the distance is toying with me, insulting me, bullying me. It knows I want to reach it, but I can't, and it's laughing at me. What are you laughing at? What are you looking at? What do you want from me? My life, my blood, my soul, my thoughts. Name it and I'll give it to you. Just stop tormenting me. Just get me out of this place, please. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I can't walk. I'm too weak. I have no energy at all. I keep closing my eyes and curling up into a ball and trying to escape in my mind. Opening my eyes every so often, expecting to be back in my stupid office cubicle. Maybe I deserve this, for abandoning everyone. Maybe it's for the best. What the hell sort of difference was I gonna make? I should have been there more with everyone. I loved my friends and family, and I left them behind chasing a dream that wasn't even mine to begin with. All these thoughts and feelings towards this never-ending goal that I would never reach, and now I'm here, thinning away at what little time I have left, using all my strength to write this stupid story of mine, so that if anyone who may find it, please find my family and tell them I love them so very much, and that I'm sorry.